Hi, Clark.
Good afternoon. That's y'all.
Hi, Prima.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Prima.
Clark.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Daryl.
Everybody looks like they're staying dry.
Yeah.
We lost our, am I muted? No, we
No.
lost our, part of our fence last night.
Boy, I've heard that I've heard of several
Oh,
people.
Right,
Yeah.
I think
Well,
that's true. And Lincoln Hills.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
lost 2 sections of mine on
Wow.
one side.
yeah, I've
Yep.
got 2 sets and they went down, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Comes Bill Loud.
The gentleman that's gonna fix it is very busy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Clark, I'm
Yeah.
looking at the agenda behind it. I think that's the properties meeting.
I've got Lincoln Rotary Club Foundation Board agenda.
Okay,
I haven't shared it yet. Let me share it and see if this is the one you
Okay.
want.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
Oh, Bill,
Yeah, hi, Bill.
Daryl, how are you feeling?
I'm fine. I'm
You
fine.
good? Good.
Rum and Coke each evening helps out. That's what they prescribe. Not sure it's legal.
Yes, we have found good uses, medicinal uses for alcohol.
Jerry.
Hi, John. Hey, could you send me another invitation to the?
No, I don't want to do that again. That hospital, I haven't
Okay,
been
I'll have
there.
Clark do it, okay?
Yeah.
I'll send it to him.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So Jerry has the,
Okay.
I'll be right back. Invite.
Message.
We have a quorum.
Kathleen, I think I left my wallet on the floor. When you get a chance. It slipped out of my pocket. No,
6.
okay. Jerry's going to join us and we do have a quorum. That's great.
I just sent him the link.
Yeah, thanks. And we'll get started.
Art's not gonna show today, is that right?
Who?
Art?
Yeah,
Art who? Art who?
Art's getting his COVID vaccination right now.
Yeah, he's getting his COVID.
I got mine at 2 o'clock.
Did you go to Placer?
No, I went to Cal Expo.
Oh, okay. There's Jerry.
It looks like somebody joined by phone also.
Okay, I wonder who that is.
We'll find out. Hello, who's joining us by phone?
It's Brian,
Oh, Brian.
Okay.
916-81.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Brian.
Hi.
I was looking for a notice from Art and only after I spoke to John did I realize I should be looking for a notice sent by Clark.
Yeah, I sent one out yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
And I couldn't use Art's login because it's his account. So I
Mhm.
had to redo it just for this meeting. Next meeting, assuming Art hosts it, he'll use his link again, but he'll send it out again. Okay, I
Okay,
think we're set.
we can call the foundation meeting, board meeting to order. We have a quorum, which is great. Last meeting was in October. We meet 4 times a year. And then usually in June as well. So the minutes from October were distributed. Are there any questions about the minutes? Do I have a motion to accept minutes?
I move.
Motion second?
I
Second.
second. Okay.
Second. Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Abstentions? None. Great. Financial report review, Graziella. for the-
Yes.
This is for 6 months ended December.
So for the cash in the bank, as of December 31st, we had $10,470 in the regular checking account and $2,716 for the community garden, and $977.70 in our PayPal account, so which is a total of $14,164. Accounts receivable, we had $10,190, which is still the RILA to come, the senior center to come, Kehovnanian to come, and 4K that we're getting from the district, and that money has already come in January. There's a little amount of the intercompany that needs to be transferred, which will go in January. We had a move from the Fidelity account to the Vanguard account. So you see that in the Fidelity account, we have $10 left. And everything was moved over to the Vanguard, and in between we made some money. We made $3,000 just like that. So going further down, we have accounts payable, a small amount accrued accrued $250 for December accounting fees. The revenue, deferred revenue has not changed, which brings us to a net income of $2,923.28. And going over to the budget. So we got a nice donation for $1,000, which was not in the budget. So that's really nice.
Who was that from? Who was that from?
Jerry.
Oh, good.
And see, online auction, we made so far $300 from this is from members that have donated money to make baskets. But just to give you a quick heads up, we right now at $1,800, I believe. So we're doing really well so far. Corporate supporter. This, I'm not quite sure if this needs to go as a corporate supporter or I have a question on this. We received a check from the Cornerstone Insurance, and it says that it was a sponsorship, but it was most probably a contribution for the auction. And so I am
no.
wondering.
Yeah, I can speak to that.
Okay.
I made the request, and it was for the auction and the Tour de Lincoln as a sponsor.
Both. Okay, so then should we put it in the under sponsorship?
Yes.
Then? Okay, thank you. That answered that question.
Do you want that, Jerry, split between the two events?
You can, yeah, that's fine.
500 and 500.
Um,
It was $1,000.
We've kind of consolidated the sponsorships, so
Okay,
um,
okay,
we can, I don't care how it's shown.
sure. All right.
Okay.
Graciela, that says 2,000
Yeah.
there. You said it
Yeah,
was,
because that's
two
for
of
the
them?
6 months. So the 2,000 here reflects the sponsorship from K Hovnanian.
oh, okay.
Oh, that got,
And just a quick,
we received the cash on that.
Yes, we did.
Oh, wonderful. I've been working at that forever. I didn't know we got the check in.
Yes, we did.
and one quick thing back to the sponsorships. Yeah, all the sponsorships just go in list under sponsorship. Yeah, it's not broken out by any specific event anymore.
Event. Okay. All right. That's what I needed to know.
But
Okay.
thanks, Brian. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, Brian. Then there's nothing else except if you go a little bit farther down, which was the capital gains that are unrealized gain and dividends is 8,000. So the investment account looks really nice. So sorry. Where am I?
Right here.
Sorry. Let's see. Where are we? Student other income. I guess it was farther up.
Were you looking for the unrealized gains?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. So in of the year, the total year was 10,000.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. On the expenses, there's not much else unless you have any question.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much there.
Yep.
Good.
I guess I have to ask, what's the other?
What's that? Programs. That's the cleaning for the blood center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when we had the,
Yeah.
blood collection.
Okay.
And youth services. Like to mention something. We're on the budget on some of the like, for example, world services or youth services. Like world services, I have a lot of going out in January. So just a heads up.
Okay, so this basically says through December it was 0. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, got it. Okay. Same thing with youth service?
yes. Right. 100, where are we? Okay. So the net income for December was $9,325, but that's mostly because of the, the unrealized gain and dividends for the year end. And let's see, what was the other one? We technically, let's see, for the year, for the 6 months, I'm sorry, not the year, for the 6 months from July to December, the net income is $2,923, which is looking at, if you look at last year, we have a surplus of, a higher income this time. And it's mostly because we didn't have any events and we did not have any expenses. So, that's why there's such a huge difference. And then the investments, the capital gains.
Good.
And now this is year over year for the 6 months. Of course, so we had less donations from other, sponsors in this year than last year. But we had a corporate sponsor for 2000. Grant income, the $11,675 is more than it was last year. One reason can be that because we apportioned this is all money that comes from the district. So I'm not sure, maybe last year it was put in the buckets directly with the events. But usually I believe it's about $7,000-8,000 a year, and we got 4,000 more this year because of that $4,000 check that we got.
Yeah, so what did we, in terms of expenses, we were probably quite a bit,
Right.
we actually spent more this year in expenses.
It's evens out. So when you look at the net income, we had more expenses last year because we had more events, right?
It says total expenses 25,893 versus last year 21. So it says we have 4,400 more expenses this year.
Oh, okay.
And the expenses
That's
program
mostly,
expenses, obviously, right? It's the
right,
fund.
and COVID, which was we didn't have last year.
Right. Yep. That's a big part of it.
Yep.
Okay, community garden, I don't.
Community garden, I just got the money in. So I do that accounting. Let me give you the money. Hold on just one second. So we got $1,420 in checks in from the community garden for the rents.
Good.
That's gonna come in in January in the books.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. This is by month. It's kind of nice to see, the different each month that we have all the different income.
Are you available tomorrow? Okay, let me call you at this number.
I'll mute him. Keep going.
Okay, sorry. So so December was a big month. A lot of checks came. Then if we go for that $4,000 check that I was talking about, thank you.
Grant income.
Yeah, that was the extra money that we got.
Okay.
Bad debt, if you see a bad debt, it's because I had to write off the check from Kehov Nanyan from last year, but then we recognized it this year.
Okay.
COVID 8,000. So we COVID was a big hit in October, $8,000, which we gave to the salt mine
Mhm.
mostly. Yeah.
Yep, right there.
Yeah. So bottom line, here you see what we had each month. Again, for December was 9,000. For the 6 months, it's 2,923.
Good. Okay,
This is by budget, by department. Fund, donations. There's the admin, Bradford expense and income, community garden.
Anything you want to go over here, Graciela? You want me to keep going?
So I don't know. There's not much. Well, what I can tell you is on the admin, you see all the expenses that maybe I just see something that I need to fix there.
Bad
the-
departments.
I'm sorry.
Oh, under total admin, what I saw was bad departments. Did we mean bad debts?
Bad debts, yes.
Yeah.
So bad debt means if, we expected
Well,
the money to come in, we
so-
didn't get the check,
No, we know what it means, but it says DEPTS instead
Right.
of DEP. It says,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I was talking about.
oh,
Grandma thought maybe
Okay.
that's what you needed to fix was
A
to make
spelling
the word, spell the word debts.
Yeah, I'll fix that.
Looks like it's an abbreviation for departments.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So no big deal though. That's.
No,
easy
I'll
to
fix it.
Yep.
But I can, yeah, go ahead, please. There's nothing outstanding that I think that I haven't really talked about yet so far. There's a
Good.
couple of other items I'd like to talk besides of what we're about the financials.
Okay, let's finish the financials.
So here's the investment part. You see all the accounts because it's for 6 months. So it went from Edward Jones to Fidelity to Vanguard. Since we're showing now 6 months, that's why they're all listed.
Okay.
All right. These are all the transactions and what department that all the transactions have been assigned to. So if you have any questions on that,
This really is the detail for the month of December.
Yeah.
that's only December, right?
Okay.
Banners.
That
Yep.
looks pretty normal.
Yep. Water service.
Okay.
And then the next one is going to be the bank transactions. These are all the checks and all the deposits. And then I added memos to all of them.
That's good. That gives a description of the activity.
Right.
Mhm. Good.
So, and these are, I just wanted to show you what the accounts receivable are as of December.
Okay.
But we got so we got the 4,000 and the 2,000 in January. We're still waiting on the 4,190 from the district. So this was just an add-on.
I move to accept the financial report.
Is there a second?
Second,
We have a second. All in favor of accepting the financials? Aye.
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 I,
Any opposed? Abstentions? So ordered. Thank you very much, Graziella.
Yeah,
Did you have
can
something
I have a
to add?
couple,
Yeah,
when, okay,
Go
can I
ahead.
talk about the $5,000 and the $1,000?
Yeah, let's start. Yeah, start with the 5, right?
Okay, so last month I was so we had the city of Lincoln. We issued a check of 13,000, was it 13,500
200.
for a Rec 2 event or project, and it was never cashed. So I called them up and said that if they could please send the check back. The lady, her name was Stephanie. And she said that the event has been somewhat canceled. They're going to still do it eventually, but not for right now. And they don't know when. So she returned the check to me, and I will destroy the check. But I did tell her that we will have the money there for them, that is in a bucket for them, so that they will get the money regardless, as soon as they're ready. Now, the question came up, and John and I talked, is that the Lincoln Community Foundation had paid a $5,000 towards this event or this project, and we actually cashed that check. So it's booked in a sponsorship, so it's you know, you can't really see it. And we got that check on February the 10th. And I just was wondering, what should we do about this? Because
Talk to Marsh about that. I don't want it to be a bunch of awkward and.
Right. So because we got the check back, but then the community, the Lincoln Community Foundation gave us that money.
Yeah, Graziella, I thought we'd already cleared that up, that they said they would honor that 5,000 through the year of January, or through the year of 2021. So we were just going to hold on to those funds. If we can't move forward with the project by the end of 2021, then we'll have to decide and go back to Lincoln Community Foundation, see if they want to continue to allow us to hold on to that or not. Then we'll go from there.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I was not, for some reason I must have missed that, but maybe I was not included in those emails, but I was not aware of that. Maybe I missed it or just didn't get it. So what I will need to do is, though, I have to move those funds over, because otherwise we overstate our well, right? Let's see, we overstayed our, we understayed our expenses. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how it's done in the books.
For accounting purpose, right. So
yeah.
for year end, I have to do the same thing as I did with the check. So we'll just put it on the balance sheet, and instead of having it in the income statement. That's what I mean to say.
Okay, and I guess.
So it'd basically be a deferred liability, right?
Yes.
On the balance sheet.
Yes.
Okay, so you have the check has physically been deposited, is that?
Correct. I found it in February, yes.
Okay, so it's in the bank. It's a matter of how to account for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so balance sheet rather than P&L.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fine, sure.
Because
Yeah,
so we measure, so when the cash goes out, that's when we actually then take that check and reduce our out-of-pocket thing,
So
right?
it kind of add to this line right here, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And then on the other thing, I had.
Is it, just a minute, is it currently in the P&L then? Is that what you're saying?
No, not yet. No, because we just talked about this today. So
Okay.
I have to make all these changes.
Okay, do you have another item? Was that it?
So the other item, it doesn't really affect the balance sheet. It was more of a procedure, what I kind of like to talk about. I got a reimbursement request today, not today, this month, for $1,000 that was expense, or that was used online with the member's credit card to pay for a donation to the shelter box, and we had to reimburse the member. So in our financials, in our records, it shows that we reimbursed a member for $1,000 for an expense. It does not show that we actually did a donation because the payment went to the member. And that's why I always have problems when people use their own personal credit card to make large purchases, and especially, you know, for a foundation or a nonprofit, when you make so what I need to get it out to everybody that when they have expenses that are like donations or grants or large expenses also, and they do need a credit card, we have a credit card and they can just ask me for the number. So if they need to charge something, we have a credit card for the foundation and we have one for the club. Most of the times these companies, I mean, you know, they're also foundations. I mean, they take checks. It's not that they only take credit cards. So the preference will always be that expense was also done without a check request. So my thing is just that it's important that we keep going the way we have been doing it. So a check request should be issued, then the treasurer should make the payment. If it's a credit card expense, I can provide the credit card number. But to reimburse somebody for a donation in the name of the of Rotary, we should not do. That should not happen.
Okay.
Does
so I
that
think
make
we can-
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense. And I
Okay.
think-
Yeah, so you had brought that up to me right after all this happened, Graziella. And so I was going to bring it up at our board meeting tomorrow.
Great.
But I think maybe John and I need to put out a joint statement
Okay.
for the organizations, right? So for obviously me, the club, then John from, you know, the other two organizations,
Right.
of the importance of always submitting a check request. But in this case specifically, what happened was the person charged it because it was like the last day that if they made the donation, there was going to be
Like a match or something?
someone was going to match. Yes, a match, exactly. And so they wanted to take advantage of that. So all that's good. It's just they need to understand too that we jeopardize our status as a nonprofit to
Exactly.
do something like that. So I think maybe John
And
and
we
I
do-
can put out a joint statement.
And we do, maybe people don't know that we do have a credit card, you know?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if they have
And
an
that's what I would
urgent,
say.
yeah,
Yeah, the normal process is a check request, a signed check request, right?
right.
Back to whomever, for whichever organization. And then if it needs to be something that fast, then to come and ask for the credit card.
Right.
Really, it should still have a check request with it at that point.
Exactly.
So I think something crafted like that, John, if you're okay, we can do
Sure.
something like that to the entire membership so that we don't jeopardize anything and everyone is understanding what's going on. Okay.
That's great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All
And
right.
that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not talking
you.
anymore.
No, I just wanted to clear that up because I knew you had asked me about that too. And like I said, I was going to bring it up, but in a different board meeting. So I'm glad you brought it up here as well.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Okay.
John and I discussed it today and he mentioned he would like me to talk about it. So that's why.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. Thanks.
Thank you. We have a motion to accept and we did that, didn't we?
Yeah, we're all done with that.
Well
Okay,
done.
good. All right, let's go back to our agenda. Investment Committee report from Jerry. Jerry, could you give us a little update on that status, please?
You're muted, Jerry.
Mute. Does he have to unmute himself?
There he goes.
Okay, now I think.
When you left and started talking on the phone, I muted you. Sorry.
Oh, thanks.
I should have asked you to unmute as soon as you got back. Anyway, go ahead.
So we've successfully transferred funds in kind from Fidelity to Vanguard. Unfortunately, they went into one account in spite of the fact that I'd asked for 3. Then I went back and got Vanguard to establish 3 accounts so that we can have 3 separate funds as we have in the past. And they will be, of course, the Bradford Fund, the temporary fund, and the permanent fund. So it should have been then easy for me to transfer securities from one account to the other, but I could not find out online how to do that. And I waited online for more than an hour to get someone to help me on that, and wasn't able to. So I finally threw up my hands and sold positions to of our that we would then transfer cash to the permanent fund and the temporary fund out of the Bradford fund. This is probably too much in the weeds for most people, but anyway, those 2, and they were Vanguard accounts in both cases. The Life Strategy Growth Fund for the permanent fund, and the ultra short-term bond fund for the temporary fund. And since it was Vanguard funds, both selling and buying, we don't pay any commissions on it. So it was only a matter of frustrating me and keeping us out of the market for a couple of days, but that's probably not a bad thing.
No, we actually made $8,000 from the transfer, so you did good.
Okay, that wasn't part of the deal, but yeah. So anyway, those I have not repurchased the funds, but I will do that in the next day or so. I just checked, and the transaction has not cleared. It was a mutual fund trade. In both cases, a mutual fund sale, and so it takes a couple of days for that to clear.
Right. So
As
the,
soon as it does, I'll get it back there, and then I'll meet with the investment committee, and we will try to get out of some of the individual stock ownerships that we have that I know make me nervous, because it's just not being diversified where I think we should be.
okay, and so are we extricated from Fidelity then?
We are, except for that $10,
Except the $10? Okay.
and I'll probably, if you insist that I recapture the $10, I will stay on the phone for another 2 hours with Fidelity, I suppose.
Oh, God. Well, thank you for that
Okay.
report. It's taken a while, but we are there. So
Yep.
that's the important lesson. Okay. LRC Properties report from Daryl, an update on where we are.
I believe so. We'll go through it fairly rapidly here. Let's
Good.
start with rents, because there was a lost money order out of Marysville. We finally got that replaced. I sent them the link where they could get it recaptured. And so we've got that in. We're actually up to date on all the rents except one, 360 East 11th is spreading their rent over 4 payments of $700 each. Because as we all know, it's difficult times for people. And the lady lost her job, so that's when she gets her unemployment checks. So we're current on rents as best we can be right now.
Good.
The timing, the petition to send to the court was, I'm advised, was signed like 2 weeks ago by Kathy Kirby. And I tried to call her this morning to find any outdate, except I'm not supposed to do that because we're supposed to go between the attorneys. But we've had a back channel to it. But at the latest, she said when that was signed 2 weeks ago, that it would be going to the court right away. And then our attorney called the court, and it was to be processed, maybe come on the agenda, maybe March or April. I tell you, at the rate we're going, I will say March or April, but I don't think that we need to put that in, chisel that in stone, because we're still talking about being over a year getting this thing done. It was September of 2019 when this all started. But anyway, that's making progress. And the fact that Kathy signed off on the petition and such indicated that the legal work that we had done, getting the life estate, so that we were protected on that, was our major driver. And that necessitated legal fees, and that necessitated the decision that was made that, in fact, I think our board was very comfortable with us getting grant deeds to all the properties. At one time, there was an attempt to put the life estate on Big Bend, keep it in the trust, but the trust is going to go away. So our attorney advised us to go with the grant deed. Our attorney also did quite a bit of work setting forth the parameters of what it would be and giving us virtually a foreclosure right on that property, on the life estate, if the life tenant did not stand up and meet their requirements. In other words, if they started putting liens on the property or didn't make payments for the taxes and such that are their responsibilities. So anyway, we're making progress. Let's say March, April, May, we could probably get those properties transferred to us by grant deed. In the meantime, we're making some money off of a couple of the lots. Jerry Johnson was out drumming up business when he walked by a PG&E guy, so he got us a $500 month rent coming in. I guess that went together. Jared, have you seen are they using it?
I haven't been out to the site yet, but I assume they are.
Well, there's supposed to be a $2,000 check coming in from that. So
yeah,
for the first 4 months, and then there's a chance they could extend it. Talking that specific lot for future planning rights, we've had a person that we've been in contact with over the last 6 months. And I called him to tell him that we were going to be using the lot temporarily for PG&E storage. And he still wants to be number one on the list, and he's waiting to see if we will sell that lot to him when it comes up. And he seems quite amenable to pricing and everything else, which I didn't discuss. And I didn't also discuss his financial status. So, yeah.
Daryl, if you have an opportunity, you might ask him if he had the opportunity to put some gravel on the property, where would he like it put? And that I don't mean to make any assumption that he would be buying the lot, but that question was put to me by PG&E. Where would you like to have some gravel laid on the lot? Because we need that under our vehicles. And I just really didn't know how to respond to that. And I said, well, where the weeds are deepest, but
I think we'd put it mostly where they're going to be driving onto the lot.
Oh yeah, that was obviously what they wanted to do, but there's no curb there, so they technically could access the lot from anywhere, you know.
Well, that's a good subject to bring up. So I'll ask him, and it's easy to do that. But the other thing is, it would be nice to tell PG&E that we'd like them to remove the gravel when they depart. The contract doesn't call for that.
The temporary construction easement we're granting them specifies that they need to return the property to its pre-lease condition.
Yeah, but I think there's a clause in there that the gravel becomes our response. But we'll talk that offline. But I'll talk to this potential buyer about a gravel location. But anyway, that's some money from home. The 2,000 Jerry got going there, and then Garzella. We should be getting the first check in on the sign rental on East Avenue, on the corner of East Avenue and 12th, which is promoting real estate developments that's east of there, I would say about a mile, mile and a half. So that'll start bringing in us $300 a month.
Great.
We talked about wind blowing down fencing. I haven't heard yet, but I'll bet we have some fencing down one place at least. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I will say that the petition being signed kind of indicates that the terms of the grant deed that our attorney drew must have been accepted, because we haven't gotten any word that it was not. So it's one of those questions that maybe we don't ask. We just keep going. So is there any questions about LRC properties?
Yeah,
No, this is relative to the next one down, I suppose, the MOU update from Clark. But when last we met, I made the point that I thought we should come back to the board of both the Rotary Club and the foundation if we were going to encumber property. And then I went out and encumbered it for this easement for PG&E. But the reason for that was that they needed to move immediately and needed to be on the property this Monday. And that was last Friday. So there are, I guess, some
Well,
exceptions.
we haven't accepted the MOU yet, so
I know. I
it's
just
been signed, so you're well
ironic.
within your rights.
Maybe we gotta better include some sort of escape clause for situations that arise like that.
Well, I think the thing we were talking about in the MOU is if we were going to put a mortgage on a property, or we're going to sell.
I'll cover it in a minute. I'm going to cover it in a minute.
Okay. Okay.
I'll show you the language and yeah.
Okay. So I'm done on properties unless there's any questions.
any questions?
I've got a quick question, Mr. Brian, and not related to that. If I need to drop off, if I drop off, you guys okay? You don't need, you guys got a quorum, right?
We do.
All right.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I gotta head out though.
Okay, well, thank you.
Make
for
some
coming.
money, Brian.
All right, hopefully. Yeah. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye,
bye-bye.
Brian.
Okay, let's go to I think what we'll do is we'll skip over the bylaws and go to the MOU update from Clark. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll come back. To that.
We sent out we had a draft last month for the club, and then for the properties committee. The properties committee has actually approved the MOU. They asked me to add, as Jerry mentioned and Daryl started to mention, a clause in here. So what I did is under the LRC properties management responsibilities, we've got in there that they have the LRCP property trustees have the exclusive responsibility for management of the LRC properties, including that limited to the following. A, B, and C were all in there. What I added is that notwithstanding the above statements, that LRCP trustees have the exclusive responsibility for the management of the LRC properties. Any decision to acquire, sell, or encumber the properties must be approved by both the club directors and the foundation trustees. And that was what the properties committee felt we should add. So if we do any of those things, both the club and the foundation directors and trustees need to approve that. So that's the only change that I've made in the MOU, and from the last version that was sent out to everybody. So that's it. That's all I have.
So any other questions on the MOU from the trustees?
I think that states perfectly what we discussed, and I would move approval of the MOU.
Okay, do we have a second for approval on the MOU?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed. And I want to thank Clark.
Yeah, good
for
work, Clark.
all your hard work. It was a super job. So this will go to the board of the club, and then
That'll happen tomorrow.
tomorrow, right? Exactly. and then back to properties for their approval.
No, property's already approved it.
Yeah,
Oh, they have.
You
You're right.
approved it, provided I put a clause like this in
That's
there.
right.
So,
It was
yep.
approved with, yeah.
So
with
if the club approves it tomorrow, then it'll be ready for signature for
the-
the
Okay. So we've got
appropriate.
all three entities signing. That's good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just show that real quick. So
Yeah.
at the end here, so we've got Rotary Club, Lincoln Rotary Club Foundation, LRC Properties are all signatories to the MOU. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, back to the agenda. Bylaws update from Christine. I think the last time at our meeting in October, there was some conversation or report that the bylaws really did not need to include the properties. And so we might want to just carry this item forward, or I don't think there's going to be any major change, but I probably need to hear from her on that. Okay, any other questions on the bylaws? Otherwise, I think we'll just carry it to the next meeting. The status of the prior year tax returns, Graziella, can you give?
Yes, so everything is with Jennifer at this point. She filed an extension. We have time until May. She's currently running the election, I believe, on the Sun City, Lincoln Hills, board of directors. So I think she's busy with that, but I will follow up on that. I finished all the 1099s for all the contractors and lawyers and et cetera, et cetera. So we're good.
Great. Okay. Any
what,
questions on that?
what was Art suggesting with regard to the physical address of the corporation?
That's under new business.
Oh, yeah, under new business, the next one down.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead.
That's okay. I'm not sure what his advice was. Do you recall, Graziella?
No, I don't think I was part of that. I didn't know.
We've run into that a couple of times, most recently with Vanguard, where they wanted a physical address for the corporation.
I mean, you can give them mine if you want to.
The properties is given to, all goes to Art's address, but it'd be nice to have them both the same address, wouldn't it? But Art's secretary, that might be a good address.
Yep, that's the one it should be, the secretary's address.
Right now it's Brian's, huh? Is that right?
Yeah,
Not
evidently.
Is this foundation or properties you're talking about?
Well, it should be foundation is what we're talking about here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure.
Without Art here to talk it, maybe, but
We're gonna have to-
Yeah,
my suggestion would be that if Art would concur that both the properties and the foundation address be his, he was
Mhm.
amenable to it on property.
Okay, we can ask that question. Good. Okay, then we have the annual agreement with the Tofts for the community garden. I don't know whether, did you get that?
yes, I have the signed copy, yes.
All right. Mark, I sent that over to you to put up. I don't know whether you got it.
Oh, I was looking through stuff. I didn't,
It came over super late.
okay, just give me 1 second. I'll see if I can pop it up,
If
John.
you can find it. If not, we'll do without.
Oh, here it is. I just see if I can pull this over here. I don't know if it'll work. Let's see. Is that a photo?
Yeah,
Open,
photo.
oh, here, I can open it with this. There we go.
Okay, so this is the MOU that we have between the foundation and the Tufts Trust. And this really was just an annual update that they want to go year to year. We thought maybe we could go for a longer duration, and they really like it this way. So I was just going to share the document with the members, the trustees of what it says. I don't think we need to read it, but we both agree to the above terms.
Okay. Gee, do we really remember what it looked like on March 8th, 2012?
That's a good question. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know that I remember that either, but I guess we just have to take the fences down and take the lumber away
says-
and just basically
Exactly.
leave it a
It
vacant lot.
says he must have photos. We should ask for the photos.
Yeah, maybe so.
He must have photos.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't have them in our file, do we?
No, all I found was the last year agreement. I didn't see any
Okay,
photos.
okay.
We should probably have those,
Would be a bad idea. if we could get
because
them.
if it's in the contract, we should know how it looked like. Yeah.
Is John Toff still alive? Maybe that's
Who's that?
John
Well,
Toff.
Rick-
he signs
Rick-
the
No,
Richard.
Richard Toff.
Okay.
Richard.
Oh.
signed it.
Richard Toff
Richard.
signed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Trust.
So did who's the second? Oh, President. Okay.
That's John. Yeah.
John Quigley. Okay.
Yeah.
So is Richard Toff John Toff's son, or do we know?
I believe so.
Hmm.
But I'm not positive.
Okay.
This was all done through the US mail. Yeah. Okay. So
Yep.
we do that every year. Discussion of board members and officers for next year. We actually will have a meeting in June to
Oh,
elect any new members. And I was looking at that earlier today, and it looks to me like Art is going off. Who else?
Hold on, I've got the document for that. I had it up and what did I do with it? Let's see here. Hold on a second. Let me find this Rotary meeting. Here we go. Where did it go? Bear with me 1 second, guys.
You bet.
I converted this to a Adobe file and now I can't find it. Maybe is this it? No, that's the. Garden agreement, foundation, LLC properties, board agenda. Maybe this is it. I think this is it. Nope. Oh, here. Huh. Well, I've got the email from Art. Let me just see if I can
Okay.
bring this over here. PDF. Let's see. How can I share that now? Let me unshare this and I'll. Okay.
Yeah, Art's quite fluent in this in previous situations of arranging for members or getting the trustees. Maybe this would be something good to discuss with him.
Yeah,
You're talking
here's
about
the,
for new trustees?
There you got it.
all right.
Okay, good.
So I think, I sent this over. These are the people that are terming out.
Right. There are 3
In
terming out.
yellow.
We have 10 trustees.
So, and I think Art said he will not be continuing on as a trustee. He's declared that, right?
Exactly. He has said that. We've not talked to Daryl.
Well, I'm going to follow Art's lead on it because I've been on it for quite a while. We need newer, younger people in the club or different members in the club to come on.
Okay, so there are 2 openings, and then Brian, we need to talk to Brian about continuing or.
Well, no, I think that one just is an ex officio that just passes to the next president.
Okay. So that'll be,
Yeah, so
Christine
Christine would take over that part, and then the president-elect nominee would slide into Christine's slot.
Right.
right, got it. Okay, so those would be filled. Those
So
two.
we just really need to backfill Art and Daryl,
Okay,
and maybe Brian would like to stay on as a regular trustee. We'll see.
we'll see. Okay, and so we're looking for 2.
Right.
And we could go to 12 max in our bylaws, but I think 10 is great. We can fill those 2.
And
And then officers for next year, we need to be thinking about that. And we usually elect that in the June meeting.
so I guess this is just kind of a heads up, but so we elect officers at the April board meeting and new trustees at the club meeting in June.
Right.
So should we nail down the 2 new people, the minimum 2 new people between now and April, so we can basically approve them as trustees in April and determine who the officers are going to be, and then they're presented in June to the club?
That would be,
Would that be the way we do that?
that's our program. Yes, exactly. So anyone that has suggestions, please share them with me and we'll try to fill those 2 slots.
I think Clark is on there, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm stuck till 2023, just like you, Graziella.
He's not going anywhere.
I hope not.
Okay, scroll down to the officers.
I got my shot today, so
Yay.
I'm 50% protected in 2 weeks, I guess.
At least for 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Graziella as the treasurer. That's good. And
So we'll need a new secretary, and then it'll just be
secretary. That's
maybe,
really critical.
yeah.
So think about that. Think about that, Clark.
Yeah, think about that, Frema. Bill. Up to my eyeballs in this.
Not a
thing.
detailed person. My computer skills are not up to.
Yeah, the nice thing is we record these meetings, so you just go back and watch it as many times as you want, so that's what you want to do, spend an hour watching this again, huh, after sitting through it.
Right. Okay.
I don't think so.
So,
Okay, well,
if
John, you'll have to start the arm twisting
yeah,
as soon
we
as you
will.
can.
We will. Would you send that document over to me when you get a
Yep.
chance?
Yep.
Please, appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, I think our work is cut out for us, all right? Any other thing on the trustees? So let's go back to our agenda.
Yeah, let me get back to it here. So I had to. Okay. And boom. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
next meeting is going to be in April. Got to figure out whether the 28th is the right date. 4 o'clock rather than 4:30. I do know that. So we need to change that. And see, our board meeting is the fourth Thursday. Is that right?
Fourth Wednesday. Oh, the board
No,
meeting is on the
I'm
fourth
talking
is
about
Thursday. Yes, the board.
The board meeting.
Yeah.
So in
the
the
club.
month of April, the 1st of April is a Thursday. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the board meeting will be April 22. So we know that it would probably be Tuesday, the 20th.
You normally have it on
Well,
Tuesdays or Wednesdays?
we either have Tuesday, Wednesday. I have a conflict on that once a quarter, and that's a conflict month for me. So on a Wednesday, so we have to have it on Tuesday at 4, or we could have it on the 21st, which is the Wednesday. Well, I hate to rush it, so it's really better to do it on the 20th. Yeah, on a Tuesday, the 20th. Does that work for people?
Yep.
Works for me.
That's fine.
Okay,
At 4,
o'clock.
right?
4 o'clock on April the 20th. And then the
Okay.
board meeting will be on the 22nd. So we want to meet before the board meets, right? Okay, we got that changed?
April 20 at 4. Yep.
So anything else to come before the board?
I move for adjournment.
I'm sorry, what?
I move for adjournment.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't hear anything else coming forward, so I moved to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Abstentions? None. Thank you all for being here and good meeting. Appreciate your input.
Okie dokie. Bye.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thanks
Okay.
again, Clark, for the MOU. It was really clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
Well,
Right.
it's a really good document
Yeah,
that speaks to
exactly.
the 3 entities and how they work together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Great.
terrific. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.